Hello everyone, myself Assistant Professor Vatsal Patel from Civil Engineering Department working at Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center Navsari. Today we are going to discuss about self-assessment and development. So first of all, let us see change. So according to Robin Sharma, change is hard in the beginning, messy in the middle and gorgeous at the end. So we always look for stability, but the only thing that is constant in the world is change. We need to develop ourselves to become better today than yesterday. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. So the change is inevitable in every sphere of life. It is something that it is bound to happen sooner or later, and if you are not well prepared, you will find it difficult to adjust. Anticipating the change is one way to make it easier for you to get adjusted to it. However, as change often means stepping out of your comfort zones, making the necessary adjustments will not be as easy as it sounds, leading to make the achievement of your goals difficult. For example, if a student is not able to study regularly, he scores less than his actual potential and then regrets in the end. Only if I could have studied regularly. Here, the student has to work continuously on changing his habits with prioritization, time management, assessment, etc. He has to introspect a lot and find out ways on how to go about it. While riding ourselves with bad habits, we must remember that it needs to be replaced with one good habit. So, why do people avoid change? True, you want to control your own density. Making changes in your life may be very intimidating, and you may end up settling for less or doing nothing at all. There are some reasons why people are afraid of change, like feeling isolated, tendency to the position and status, doubting on self, fear of unknown, focusing on the external world, overlooking the fact that the opinions or say options are available. So it is said that if you contribute or say continue doing a task every day at the same time for 66 days in a row, then it becomes your habit and then you don't have to exert to do that task. With the development of technology, change in the thinking process of people, change in the overall environment, the companies must keep on updating their products, services, ways of dealing with customers and employees, policies and strategies. So it is important to remember that you never have to settle for what transpires when making changes in your personal and professional lives. When you have enough confidence to act in the face of your fears about change, it gives you a sense of control. Ultimately, it will provide you with a purpose in life. So, change is also important for a society as a whole. When an individual brings about a change on oneself, everything around us also changes. Rather than complaining, we must always strive to bring about that change ourselves. And so Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. So apart from this, change tries to update oneself as it helps to address specific problems at home and at work while staying up to date on the market trends and technological advancement. So various models are implemented to make changes in your life and it might be helpful to be bringing about positive results. So there are 6 steps to bring about a change. Identify one thing that you need to change. Accept that you really need to change this one thing. Determine that you will do something to change. Identify the action points to bring about the change. Take action, persist till you succeed. So, tips for dealing with change are: be flexible, communicate, continue working with positive attitude, envision of the big picture, maintain your network of contacts, seek opinions, perform self assessments, realize that change is inevitable and it is the only aspect of our life that is constant. Recognize the stages of change, stay alert for the stable clues in your surrounding. Next one is growth. So, according to Nair Muthi, growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck where you do not belong. When we change, we grow as human beings. Each time we stretch ourselves, we expand our limits. You can grow only if you move out of your comfort zone. So, if you perceive change to be inevitable, then the growth is always optional. Change is applicable to each individual as a human being is surrounded by different elements that are tend to change. Change is an automatic process where is it would be an individual decision whether he or she would like to change himself or herself with the other changes that are taking place. People that show willingness to change can adapt themselves to varying surroundings and this will help them grow personally and professionally. If one tries to adapt oneself according to one's surrounding, one has to constantly motivate oneself and has to retain one's self-esteem. One has to constantly work in the direction of achievement of one's goal. There might be challenges on the first go, but gradually by applying constant efforts, one can achieve the desired goals. So, for example, when you start going to a gym, on first few days your body will ache, then slowly and gradually your body becomes used to this exertion and it doesn't pain at all. But again, if you add the number of exercises, then again it will start paining. This way, every time crossing the boundary of our limits or our comfort zone, we can keep on growing in all aspects of our lives. Hence, always try to do a little more than what you had thought to. So, to establish willingness to grow, one must have self motivation, set the goals, retain one's self esteem. Pay attention to the messages you send out to the others as well. What kind of remark do you make about yourself, about others when you are with your friends? Do you sound positive or negative? Do you hear yourself saying positive things? Avoid gossiping about people. Gossips usually say negative things about because it makes them feel important. Next one is persist. So, according to Nelson Mandela, it always seems impossible until it's done. Persistence is the key to bring about a change and growth in ourselves and our surroundings. It is persistence alone which will make you successful to bring about a positive change in your life. The road upward is always difficult and there will come a time when you would want to give up. So, persistence is one of the some core values a person should imbibe in himself or herself. If he or she wishes to attain success, it is essential not to give up pursuing your goal. This is probably the most difficult practice as here one has to be constantly self-disciplined, need to practice deliberately, willingness to improve and face fears, have self-motivation and establish a daily ritual that becomes a habit. So, take an example of a student who has decided to study for 2 hours continuously. After half an hour, he will start feeling a little bored and will start looking for distraction. If at that time his friend comes with an idea of playing, he will quickly get up and go without completing what he had decided. Persistent is refusing to give up on the face of difficulties and keep on moving forward till the time reach your goal. So if we talk about it, to persist one is required to involve oneself truly into the task in hand. Not only that one requires to get involved, but has to think about the future outcomes and the troubles that are likely to take place. So there are some tips for persistence, like seek advice from any advisor or counselor. Make use of available resources, understand and analyze your learning style, develop relation with the team with whom you are working, visualize your goals, maintain a sense of self-esteem and self-respect, learn to budget your time, have open communication with team members to troubleshoot the problem, find some times of strong internal motivation, focus on future and choose optimization. Next one is prioritize. So according to Stephen Conway, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. The reason why people are not able to persist is because they are not able to identify their priorities. Time management, one must include all priorities in the schedule and work accordingly. So priorities are a tool for productivity in the same way as a compass is a tool for navigation. But as with compass, if you don't know where you want to go, it serves no purpose. People that have a clear sense of purpose and clear goal will automatically prioritize in line with the outcomes they seek. But privatization can still be useful for catching those important things that need to be done but perhaps you don't want to do. Prioritizing is an essential to make conscious choice. So when we don't have our own plans, we end up becoming the part of other people's plans and priorities, thus taking us nowhere. So prioritize your work and make a plan and discard everything which is not in your plan unless it is very urgent and important. All the projects, especially large and complex, need clear priorities. You can expect even well-planned technical projects to involve change orders, reprioritization, and regular appearance of the surprises. Knowing well how to prioritize your work affects the success of your project, the involvement of your team, and your role as a leader. Next one is read. So according to Mark Twain, the man who doesn't read has no advantage over the man who can't read. Reading is the best habit that everyone must be imbibed. It is the literature that helps build the spirit of people. Reading helps in many ways and it is one of the most important elements of self development. Reading is not only to gain expertise on the subject matter, but it would help how you can perceive yourself in the eyes of others. Reading is not only essential to help you clear your exam, but it helps you to get developed in variety of other ways. So reading about your own area helps you sharpen your core skill, while reading general books and other topics give you an idea about all aspects of human life. Whether you read one type of book or the other, it is important that you ponder over whatever you already read. This will help you find more meaning from what you read and it will become a part of you. The same ability to analyze detail also come in handy when it's come to criticize or say the plot of the book as well, trying to determine whether it was a well written piece, if the characters were properly developed, if the storyline runs smoothly, etc. Should you ever have opportunity to discuss the book with others, you will be able to state your opinion clearly. As you have taken the time to really consider all the aspects involved, it is this type of critical thinking that will lend itself well to any task required even the smallest amount of the problem solving in the workplace. So, if we talk about some developing comprehension about reading, commit yourself to become a better reader. Approach the text, chapter, or article with an open mind. Free your mind to focus on your reading. Underline and look up words you do not understand. Write down your vocabulary words and review them often. If you are having trouble, get a tutor to help you. Understand that the more you read, the better you will become at it. Next is learn. So, according to Mahatma Gandhi, live as if you were to die tomorrow, learn as if you were to live forever. One who continues learning never feels stagnant in life. If we always keep a seeking mind, we all be able to learn from every situation or person around us. Learning is essential to our existence, just like food nourishes our bodies. Information and continued learning nourish our minds. Lifelong learning is an indispensable tool for every career and organization. Today, continuous learning forms necessary parts in acquiring critical thinking skill and discovering new ways of relating to people from different cultures. To live a life without continuous learning is unthinkable. As change is integral part of our life, the most effective ways to deal with the change is while lifelong learning or say with lifelong learning. So learning help us move forward and improvise each time. We can learn from our own experiences, reading about great individuals, history, other success and failures, etc. No learning ever goes in vain in our lives. A professional must keep on learning new ways of work. You gain a new confidence every time you learn something new. So, what is continuous learning? Continuous learning in yourself motivated for assistance in acquiring knowledge and conceptualize in order to expand your skill set and develop future opportunities. It forms part of your personal and professional development in an effort to avoid stagnation and reach your full potential. Knowledge is now available at everyone's fingertips. Those not making use of this opportunity will remain where they are, their capabilities diminishing in its importance. So, learning new skills of your profession helps you keep updated and to add to your profile. You will never feel stuck even in the face of difficulties and you are able to see opportunities in all situations. Every profession provides a scope of learning from time to time with the development of new ideas, innovation and technology. Next is listen. So, according to Stephen Conway, most people do not listen with the intent to understand. They listen with the intent to reply. Listening is the most important of all soft skills. The way we communicate and work depends on whether we are good listener or not. What is about to be an empathetic listener? So, as a professional, one is expected to effectively communicate with the stakeholder, customer, and teammate. To incorporate communication practice, active listening is a must. Active listening builds strong relationship, and while it may not come naturally to many of us, it is an invaluable communication skill. When asked, most professionals will say that they are good active listener. It is surprising to realize how rarely people actually do attentively listen to one another while interacting. We allow ourselves to be distracted, preoccupied by others' matters of importance, or thinking about what we are going to say next. In fact, one of the most difficult communication skill to learn is to give someone the respect and consideration they deserve by being fully present and giving others our full attention. So it can be better in every role if one has better listening skill. Listening helps you in learning a lot. Listen to the needs of your surrounding makes you a better person and a better professional. Active listening helps in building strong relationships and it may come naturally to many of us as a valuable communication skill. Becoming an excellent listener will take determination and practice, and it will be well worth in it both your professional and personal life. Next is record. Record keeping is very important aspect to measure the progress of an individual in organization. Useful for performance appraisal, helpful in reflecting, measuring, assessing and creating new goals. So recording means whatever one encounters, one has to sustain in writing. For recording the things or events, good note keeping skills are required. These skills will help to reinforce the information in future when you need. Apart from this, it may also come to the help of others if they follow your practices. So record keeping helps like tracking our expenses and budget, tracking your professional progress, assessing yourself in terms of self development, remembering from what you learned, etc. Need to maintain records regularly. So good record keeping enables you to trust the information you find. You can feel confident that information has authentically and integrity, that data is in context, that you will be able to understand the past decision and action, and that the information will stand scrutiny as evidence. Next is remember. Remember word can be seen from a deeper perspective. Means to stay committed. Persons walks one step ahead every day towards his goal only if he remembers it all the time. If you have set your priorities well, you will not forget them. A person who remembers is always needed by others. So remember to remember. So remembering is a skill used for encoding and reaching information in long-term memory. Memorizing is an important work skill that can be developed and improved, whether it is remembering key statistics during a negotiation or quoting a precedent setting action when making a decision for impressing clients with your knowledge of their product lines. Your ability to remember has major advantages. Next is assess. Assessment is very important to see the progress, provides insight on whether whatever we are doing is correct in the right direction and intensity. Self-assessment helps in finding out one's own self. Self-assessment gives motivation too. We can say assessing is like measuring our progress, and we can do fine tuning with the help of assessment. Assessment refers to the act of determining or estimating the value of something and making appropriate judgment or issues. It is used interchangeably with words like evaluation, examination, etc. Continuously assess yourself as it would help you to know the extent of your abilities and to improve upon them without the need of performance appraisal. It involves the analysis of SWOT, that means knowing your strength and weakness and identifying the perspective or say opportunity and threats. Next is think. So according to Alexander Graham Bell, concentrate all your thoughts upon the work in hand. The sun's rays do not burn until brought to a focus. Thinking in itself has many perspectives. Different perspective like don't think too much or thinking is a waste of time, just act or think before you speak. Okay, so thinking is one of the most important tool of personality development. Thinking here can be defined as knowing the prevalent facts and furthering the ideas. This is not just restricted to a straightway thinking, it means thinking about something from various different angles, which in other words can be termed as critical thinking. Critical thinking is about making informed, enlightened, educated, open minded decision in any field, whether it is a professional, relationship, finance, or life. So, firstly, concept of overthinking. Secondly, think a lot but do not act over it. What kind of thinking is good? Analyze the situation and give objective reply. Respond rather than react. It is important to keep our thought focused on our goal, and that is what will make us successful. So, how to evolve the critical thinking? So, if you wish to begin building and expanding your article thinking skills, consider the steps like restrain emotions, look at the things differently, analyze information, ask questions, solve problems, distinguish fact from opinion, seek truth in the argument, and act according to it. So, think is the straight point of any action, involves a critical analysis, provides objective and implementable solution. Next one is communicate. Nothing can be accomplished without communication. Mastering communication skills is a matter of practice. One can receive a lot of new information. It helps in two ways: to sharpen your communication skill, to enhance your knowledge. How you communicate with yourself is also important. Some people suffer from low self confidence because of wrong self talk. So, it is an all pervaded fact that communication is the lifebone of any the organization and relationship, be it formal or informal. Communication is simply mutual understanding. Communicating helps people to express their ideas and feelings, and at the same time, it helps us to understand emotion and thoughts of others. Next is relate. So, when you cannot able to relate, not remain for longer time in your mind. So, whatever you read, learn, listen, experience must be related to yourself to remember. It helps in developing new ideas. It helps in critical thinking. When we relate, we look at the complete aspect and it helps us coexist with our environment rather than living in isolation. So life is about relation between people, between people and nature, and between people and the environment. People do not live in a vacuum. We are the sum total of all of our relationships and from our differing identities thereby. Our mental health and personal well-being are tied up in the equality of our personal relationship. The more closely we are connected to the people we love, the happier we feel and the more personal satisfaction we have in our life. Most people rate moments of connection and share enjoyment with their loved ones as their most important life experiences. And next is dream. So, according to Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can do it. Your lives are built when you learn to build your dreams. Act as a guiding path towards the destination. Process to make dream come true. Every human being has unique talents and they can do wonders with those talents. Start to work on your interests. So, dreaming is important because it is the thought you are having for your future. Dreaming is to desire for something very new and essential for your life. It ensures the high level of excitement, thus, you stay highly focused to accomplish your goals both in your personal and professional life. It brings positivity in yourself, thus, you deal with every challenge successfully both in your personal and professional life. It also gets you mentally strong to mark your strong existence in any particular field, and students are the ones who should dream big, and it is the key to get the success from them. So there will be something for which you will start feeling proud, and before you realize it becomes your dream. To have a dream or a goal in life is very important, otherwise you will never know where to go. So for some of the reason why should dream big in your life, you can generate higher levels of excitement and anticipation. You find your abilities to deal with various challenges. You overcome limiting beliefs. You develop new habits, expand your network. So above mentioned are some very strong reasons why you should think of dreaming big in your life. All these reasons encourage you to start dreaming big and enhance the quality of your life. So here I end my session. Thank you all of you.